And this afternoon, we've also been reporting from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where we now cross over for a look at the ongoing inspection tour of the new terminal by the Transport CS James Macharia. And our very own Alex Mwangi has been covering the happenings at JKIA. Alex joins us live. Good afternoon, Alex. Once again, we saw the tour. You were taken to areas that previously unseen, like the inspection area, the scanning areas. We haven't seen that, but the most important information is that comes from the CS Transport. Tell us more. What's happening there?
Okay, thank you very much, Ken. We are coming to you, live from the JKIA and just outside the VIP lounge. And the Cabinet Secretary has just had a tour of Terminal 1A and visiting various sections of the terminal, including the baggage hold area, the immigration area. He was basically getting to know and familiarize himself with the level of compliance that the terminal has got into with regard to matters to do with Cat 1 status, but also just as a way of letting the public know the extent of the developments that have taken place here at the JKIA. Right now, I'm joined by the Managing Director and CEO of the Kenya Airports Authority. It's Johnny Anderson, and he's going to tell us more about some of the proposed changes to this airport. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.
Tell us in summary, what are some of the changes that are meant to be undertaken with regard to Terminals 1, B, C, D?
I think the remodeling of Terminal B, C and D is one of the major projects that we have now ongoing here at Jomo International Airport. And what we are looking at is completely changing the terminal here at this airport. So B, C and D will look completely different than what it does today. You have to think about and look back. It's a 60s design built in the 70s, and of course aviation was something very, very differently in the 70s and the 80s compared to what it is today. Today we have different security requirements. We have also, as passengers, we have completely different expectations for what the terminal is then compared to what we have today. We want to do that change and rebuild that terminal to be something that everybody wants to travel from and to and through, and make Kenya a great destination for aviation. Yeah.
What would you say is your vision for this airport now that you have become familiarized with the challenges that it has and you've seen different facets of it?
First of all, I think that Kenya is a great product. What we need to do is, first of all, we need to increase our market share of the aviation, of the airline sector in Africa and in East Africa specifically. We have to get a greater market share of more passengers flying in and out of Kenya, more passengers flying domestic in Kenya. And we are in a position where we can actually help stimulate that through what we are doing. So from that point of view, my vision is that I see a hub. I see this to be the center of aviation in East Africa, and I want also the world to see us as the center of aviation, both in East Africa but also in Africa. If you want to travel to Africa, you travel to Nairobi, your connecting point in Africa, you know.
There's the second runway that is proposed to be built at this airport. Where exactly will it be built, and how far are you from the actual start of the project?
Yeah, first of all, I would say, let me just say this. We are a capital city, a major capital in Africa, one of the most important cities in Africa, Nairobi. And we need a second runway. You know, we are a capital, we need that second runway because it's about the infrastructure and how we organize the aviation part in all of East Africa. If we don't have that backup with a second runway, then the whole of Kenya and also East Africa will suffer. For me, it's really important to get that second runway built as soon as possible. What we have done right now, we have done the design. So what we are looking into right now is to prepare the documents for the bank, and we are doing it together with our financier because this is a huge undertaking, and we will build a runway and it will stay there for 40 to 50 years. This is one of the really important infrastructure projects of this country, so we have to do it right. So we're in the design phase right now. We are preparing the documents for the bank, and hopefully we will be able to tender sometime during September, October. That's the plan. And then we will be able to hopefully do groundbreaking 6 to 9 months after that one. And then we are looking at something like 20 to 30 months of building time. Because it's not just a piece of pavement or asphalt, it's a lot of electronics. It's leading systems, it's in-flight leading systems, and it's a huge undertaking. Very important, very, very important.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. That was Mr. Anderson, the Managing Director and CEO of the Kenya Airports Authority, telling us more about the timeline of the proposed new second runway that is going to be built at the JKIA. I now take you back to studio. Ken, back to you.
Thank you, Alex Mwangi, speaking to the MD there about the proposed second runway and why it's necessary. He says it's a capital and we can have a 60s design built in the 70s and we're still operating on one runway. Very good improvement there.